Alright, so check out what's happening on the screen right now. We've got trades heading for 12% profit, then 9.15%, even an 18% jump. Yeah, a little 1% loss, then right back with 9.6%. If you're just starting out in trading, you're probably looking at that and thinking, how do I do that? This isn't some wild trick. This is all thanks to what I call the FTS trading strategy. And get this, it uses a totally free indicator on TradingView, the swing arm ATR trend indicator. Seriously, I trade with this myself, especially on gold charts, and it's been ridiculously profitable. Wanna see how we can use it too? Let's go. Okay, so to get this set up, it's super simple. Just open up your TradingView platform. You can pick any trading pair you want. I personally recommend gold on the 5-minute chart to start, just because I found it to be so effective. But honestly, the cool thing about this indicator is that it works across the board. Forex, crypto, stocks, futures, anything. And for time frames, you generally get better results sticking to 5, 15 or 45-minute charts. Once you're on TradingView, head up to the top, click on indicators, and then in the search bar, you can type in either black flag FTS or swing arm ATR trend indicator. Doesn't matter which one you type, they both lead to the exact same indicator. From now on in this video, I'm just gonna call it the FTS indicator to keep it simple. So what exactly is this FTS indicator doing? Basically, it uses something called ATR to draw these color bands right onto your chart. We'll just call them FTS bands. You'll also see a few lines inside those FTS bands, which are basically Fibonacci lines. And then there are some little dots on the chart too, called extremum dots. Now don't get overwhelmed or scared by all these names. The key thing for our strategy is that we only really care about those FTS bands to decide when to enter trades. That's the only part that's important. And here's the pro tip for you, especially if you're a beginner using the FTS indicator. I'd really recommend setting up the indicator itself on a higher time frame. What do I mean by that? Let me make it super clear. Head into the FTS setting window, and in the Inputs tab, you'll see a time frame option. Since we're currently on, say, the gold 5-minute chart, I recommend picking at least one time frame higher for the indicator itself. So for a 5-minute chart, you pick 15 minutes for the FTS indicator. If you're on the 45-minute chart, for example, you can pick an hour or even a 4-hour time frame for the indicator and so on. Just at least one time frame higher. Now the default settings, that 25 for the ATR period and 5 for the ATR factor, actually work really well. But let me give you another little trick. 10 for the ATR period and 5 for the ATR factor can also be really good. So do yourself a favor and do some backtesting and forward testing on a demo account first to see what fits your style best. Next up, there are some options in the Style tab that can really clutter up your chart, and we want to get rid of those. Here's my recommendation. Only keep these options enabled: Fib 2, Fib 3, L100, and the last two plot backgrounds options. Get rid of the rest. You can also make those Fib lines a bit more visible and even increase the opacity of those plot background options for much better visibility. It'll make your chart super clean and easy to read. Now here's another really cool thing about the FTS. It also works as a great support and resistance tool. Just check out this gold chart. See how the FTS ribbon is acting like a perfect support level the price hits it and just bounces right off. Honestly, it works so much better than traditional moving averages for this. Or in this other example right here, you can see it acting as a fantastic resistance band. Every time the price tries to push up and reaches it, it just gets rejected right back down again. Oh, and I should also mention, whenever the FTS is green, that means the market bias is bullish, obviously, and if it's red, that means the market bias is bearish. But here's the kicker. Even if the FTS is super accurate and profitable all by itself, I highly recommend using the MACD indicator in combination with it. Why? Because it helps you avoid entering into those lower potential signals, really filtering out the noise. So how do we do that? Let me explain. First, head back to the indicators tab again, and this time search for moving average convergence divergence. From the results, just click on it to add it to your chart. Now the MACD indicator normally has a MACD line, a signal line, and a histogram based on two moving averages. But here's the point, we're not gonna use the MACD as a signal generator here. So we actually want to get rid of those lines. The histogram is what we need. So head into the settings of the MACD. In the Inputs tab, you'll see the fast length is set to 12 and the slow length is set to 26. These aren't super helpful for what we want, which is using MACD as a confirmation indicator. We need longer period moving averages, so let's set them to 100 and 200. You can keep the MA type as the default EMA, but the really important part here is setting the MACD to a higher time frame as well. Remember, we're still on our 5-minute chart, so 15-minute works great here for the MACD time frame. Then finally, in the Style tab, let's get rid of the MACD and signal line options. Set the histogram to area, and then set the colors to green, white, and red. That's pretty much all for the MACD settings. Now you've got a super clean setup that's gonna make your FTS strategy even more powerful. So the way I actually trade and make real money with this is so simple. Seriously, even a beginner trader can do it. The main signal is just trading by the changing color of the FTS band. For example, in this trading example right here, you see the FTS changing from red to green, and the FTS band also shifts from being above the price candles to below them. This is your first big clue. Then you're gonna draw a vertical line on that signal candle. That's the candle after the FTS changes color. Now follow that line down below the chart to check out the MACD histogram. If the MACD histogram is above the zero level, that means the trend is up. And any buy signal at this time would be totally valid, just like in this example here. So boom, we can open a buy position right there. But here's the really important part. Even before you open the position, risk management. If you have no idea about risk management, I've actually published a full video deep diving into it, which helps you figure out your position size based on your stop loss. Just check out the card above or the pinned comment below for that. For this strategy, the best place for your stop loss would be either the most recent swing low or one of the FTS fib lines within the FTS band. Just choose the one that's closer to your entry price. And for your target, set it to a 2R, meaning you're aiming for double your risk. Now check out this next example. You see a buy signal here, FTS going from red to green. But wait, look at the MACD. It's too tight, a little unclear, right? So we don't enter that trade. And you know what? That was the right call, because the market here just had low potential. Then right after that, we have the FTS changing from green to red. That's a sell signal. Now, when we check the MACD, it's clearly below the zero line, confirming that bearish momentum. And that's valid and profitable. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to check out that risk management video I recommended. It's really crucial.